the labor, the ability to think, to comprehend, to see. He has blinded the labor, the mind, the ayin, the strength of one's life. He has blinded the mind of them which believe not. We don't believe. Yah commands us to love Him with all. He commands us to love our neighbor as ourselves, and we defy the commands of Yah. We're nothing but filthy liars of unbelief. I was speaking in my mind to Yah. I'm talking to my Father. How is it that the comprehension of love is complete? People will tell you they love everyone. I've never said that in my life. When you love your son, your daughters, your grandbabies, different than that one, this one, these, or those, or that one, that's not love. It is a form of an emotion, but it's not love. You can never understand the dynamics of love until you learn how to love Him. And you show your love to Him by just obeying the simplicity of Torah. And when His truth is blind from your eyes, it is because your own God has blinded you. Because your God has invested all that He is in you for one purpose: to war against the Most High. Yes. To be in opposition against truth. To fight constantly against it. Don't worry, my friend in Texas, I got you covered. What leads the light, the splendor, the light, the menorah, the ruchim, the seven, the visible lights? A man cannot tell me he's wise when I don't see the wise wisdom that permeates in his mind, in his facial expression. You can't tell me you're wise. You can tell a fool that, but me, you cannot tell me that. You cannot give me your counsel or your knowledge of matters, because it is one thing about knowledge: it makes a man, his countenance bright. It calls light to illuminate. He says, least the light, what light? The seven, the light of wisdom. Above all, there is one that is greater than all of them. Can I tell you? Yes. It is the ruach yirah. It is the spirit of fear, that you fear Yah. And we verbose in our lying, superstitious ways, and say we fear Yah, but we're liars. Yes. We say we love Him, keep not His mitzvot, we're liars, and the truth is not in you. I don't care if it's me, I don't care if it's my birth son, my birth daughter, my birth, I don't care who it is, my mother. True. You cannot compromise with that. Fact of the matter. Truth. He says, because the light of the splendor of the purpose of Yahshua HaMashiach, who is the image, He is the representative, He is the image of Yahshua, of Yah, should shine. See? You see what word He used? Yeah. He used the words ma'or. It should illuminate us. Yes. We should make the brightness of Yah's countenance, as we would sing, shine on me, Yah. Shine. Yes. We sing that. True. It didn't mean a damn thing. Yeah. So when the light of Yah shines, it opens the ponim. Yes. You're not going to hear this nowhere else. Hallelujah. True. No one is going to teach you this and break it down like this. No. You're dealing with a God. Yes. And so who is the God of this world? Saul just said, the God of this world. Yes. He didn't identify my personage. No. I'm going to identify him because Yahshua did. Yes. That's why we don't delight in truth. Yes. That's why we don't delight in reproof. Yes. We don't delight in rebuke. We despise it. We hate it with a passion. Because Yah is known by His ruach of judgment. He corrects those that He loves. but a bastard he despises.
Hallelujah.
I'm not going in the world to try to correct them from teaching their sons and daughters. As far as daughters, you act like boys, and boys, you act like girls. I'm not cynical like many.
Yes.
I know I'm going to die one day.
Yes.
I don't want to leave our babies defenseless.
Hallelujah.
I want them to be able to battle and hold the swords of Yah
Yes.
with a great standard.
Yes.
You can be silly all you want to, nation. You can be immature all you want to.
Yes.
You either covered by the dam of Yahshua or you're destined for hell. There's no intermediary. There are no grounds in between. You're not going to save your damn son, your daughters, nor your grandyoungers. You're saving nobody. You haven't even saved yourself from this damnable, untoward generation because you haven't fulfilled the Torah. When he comes, is he come looking? When he comes, there must be fruit.
Yes.
I cannot put out cabbage today and expect fruit next month. It is a process of tilling, working the soil, making sure that the adequate micronutrients are there. I learned something this morning, son. That is the most important thing. Our gardens are filled with nitrogen, potash. But it's missing that thing which are called the micronutrients. They don't just come, and no fertilizer can put them there. And Yah has given us one of the most profound things in our faith that draws from the belly of the earth. It draws deep down into the core of the earth. And it draws from the micronutrients like nothing else. And there is nothing that is as strong as this one thing. I taught and our Zakim brought it out. And he emphasized, the Torah calls it the verdant, the tree. There's nothing like oak, tree, leaves. He supplied all the micronutrients. And so my friend and I began to work 2 weeks ago. We both came to the same conclusion. That's how happy you are working. We know what it takes now. This is an ignorant generation. We must have the nutrients of Yah's resources. And it begins with one thing. That is to love Him. That is to love Him.
Hallelujah.
And the same way you love Him, you love Him.
Yes.
Does He correct us?
Yes.
Hallelujah.
As those said, we love our own and we really don't care for our own. Let me show you who this God is. Can I show you?
Yes.
Turn quickly. There are 2 places I want us to turn to. It's written here in the writing of Luke, chapter 4 and 1 verse 6. I would recommend that you read the entire chapter and take your time and examine the words of that chapter. But Luke chapter 4 verse 6. This is a formidable foe that operates in our minds that try to steal truth. This is a contention with Hashatan, Yahshua HaMashiach. And Hashatan said on Yahshua HaMashiach, he says, all, you notice the little word all. It's going to be referenced throughout the teaching. A-L-L. That is the sum, the whole, that is the volume, the totality, and nothing is left out. He says to him, all of this great power, you see the visibility of it, you see the women, the sons, you see the gravity of wealth, all this power, he used the word didomi, all of this will I give.
Yes.
Didomi. I have the power to grant it.
Yes.
I have the authority to pour measures upon what people, whom I will, and how I will. all of this will I give you, and the honor I will cause them to reverence you. Are not they honoring their gods today?
Yes. Yes.
The Allah, the Jesus Christ, the Buddhists and all, the North Hamashiach. He said for that, listen carefully to what he says. He says for that is paradidomi. It is paradidomi. It is delivered. It is delivered to me. Paradidomi is an expression in the Greek language saying to me that I have the power to do what I want to with it. Yes. I have the power of these resources. Yes. And I'm formidable. I'm formidable. And you know, little boy, there's nothing you can do.
Yes.
You know that. There's nothing you can do. Why would one try someone unless one is assured that that one has the rightful throne of this creation? Yes. But it's been granted unto me for a season. And I want to give, listen to what he says. And to whomsoever I will, ditto me, whomever I want to give it, I give it.
Yes.
If I want to give T.D. Jakes million, what can you do? If I want to give Billy Hen billions, what can you say? If I want to pick me a people that represents an enclave, well, he picked Esau. Yes. So you're going to tell me in this country that the ones you call Esau, all white folks, are rich? That's a damn lie.
Yes.
There are some, not some, there are many that are poorer than I am. And I am not one of any wealth. But I live better than them. Hallelujah. In the sense of fulfillment, yes. Food and bread. Yes. So that is such a damnable, twisted analogy. It is so fake. There are some poor, not poor, but poor, white folks. Yes. You go into the Appalachians and West Virginia, it's all basically white people.
Yes.
They're poor.
Yes.
They are filthy poor.
Yes.
Don't worry, I'm going to teach. I recall the person that I befriended at IBM. He came to the assembly with me. He had joined the assembly. He became a part of it. His wife was, she was an accountant for Duke Energy. And she would tell the stories. Because she would have to go and audit the resources of Duke Energy. And she says to us one day when you go to West Virginia, she said, you look at the people's eyes. I drive through enclaves of poverty. They're poor, they're dirty, their mental state of mind, it doesn't even look, it's surreal. And the men are drunkards and they make tremendous amount of money. You will find in the midst of all of that, one house or houses that stands out as far as light and wealth, and you can see it. Because their monies each week are taken by those that have the power to seduce them and to draw them under their suppressive manner. She says at the end of the week their checks are gone and they're borrowing already from those people before Monday. She said their enclaves are nothing for poor people. So don't tell me that all white folks got money.
Right.
And damn white people.
Yes.
And that's a lie to say that.
Yes.
It's a lie. And the ones that got big houses, they're as broke as I am.
Yes.
That's right.
True.
They're broke. But I'm going to bring it down, don't worry.
Hallelujah.
Hashatan said, you know, little boy, I have the power to do what I will. Because it has been pardoned me. It has been granted, has been given over. I've been given the authority and the power to challenge the one that established this. So I don't represent him, and I don't represent you. But I've got something for you. I know you're in the element of this flesh. I'm beyond that. I was there as a covering. I was a karub. I was a chief karub. I was one of those that sing vocal cord. You want me to sing? Look at those that sing for me. Look at those that dance for me. Look at the extravagance of them. They've been taught wrong. They've been ignorant because our leaders are ignorant. They don't know. You can tell people anything they buy. You can sue them. You're a sweet man. No, you're not sweet. You're lying, you're corrupt, you stink. Get yourself together. You think that's favorable with anyone when you're honest? No. Again, here in Matithia chapter 4, you'll read the entire chapter of Luke 4 and understand the narrative of this battle. Same thing in Mark and Matthew, Matithia chapter 4, one verse because of time, verse 8 and verse 9. Matithia in chapter 4 and verse 8. Again, Hashatan, take him. Is that talking about YHWH? Take him is the him, YHWH the pronoun. Is that YHWH?
Yes.
Takes him into an exceedingly high mountain. When he calls you and me to become so high-minded, and that's what this generation is. It's a generation of ones that are high-minded. They think superbly of themselves. They are the most kindest one. They are the most generous one. They love greater than anyone. They do right by everyone. They're nothing but filthy, stinking, dirty liars. High-minded and self-absorbed with themselves because they want to own a front that is false. A man that is hungry, he doesn't have to talk, he doesn't have to defend himself. His word speaks louder. His words speaks louder than his words. When one has nothing but a volume of words, you know something is twisted here. I don't care if it's your mammy, your grandmammy, or your grandpappy. It makes me no difference. You see, we have respect a person. You love your grandmammy. If you had a choice, mine or hers, which one would you want to die first? Mine. That's the hypocrisy. No greater love than this, that a man will lay down his life. And your mommy is not even your friend. There's a young man that works at Lowe's. And I get on him quite often. I would tell him your social skills are inadequate. I went in the store on Thursday, I believe. He saw me. And he does that. Same one that day we went that I got on. His name is Kendrick. So I greeted him. I said, you saw me. You stopped that. And so on Thursday we were outside. I said to him, it's one thing about you, Kendrick. You're going to have to learn, young man. I said, do you have friends? He said, no, I don't have no friends. I knew he didn't have any friends. I knew that. That was an issue. He had friends. I said, you know, my wife has always been my friend. We played basketball and everything. He said, well, my family, I don't mess with them. I don't have no social interaction with them. I knew he'd tell me. I know the young man is like that. And so every time I go in there, you can hide all you want to, but I'm going to find you out. I'm going to seek you out. There are two of my Mexican friends when I go in. They greet me and they do things for me. They look out for me. And they were cold as water when I first met them. Because men, they were cold as water. But that's all right. I like them that way. There's nothing. They would not even speak to me. But now when they see me, there's a glistering of a smile. I am coming to buy things. But what do you have for me? Anything? What about wood? Let me look at that. It's like the man that gave us that wood, 10 cents on the dollar. I was willing to pay $350, $400 for that wood. You see, I know how to interact with people. I'm not boasting in that. So I say to young Kendrick, how do you? 26. I say, young man, what you need to do is go to a trade school, get your trades. Learn that. And learn how, you have to learn how to interact with people. I said, because that time that come at you, you're moody as they come. So does he have any social interaction? Those are the opposite. No, he doesn't. I don't try to destroy him, but I try to destroy him. We are such hypocrites. You love everybody, don't you? The forces they come.
Hallelujah.
Yeah.
I saw a young man the other day. I didn't even know, I hadn't seen that young man. He worked at Lowe's. I'm going to teach, don't worry. And I was purchasing bread during the storm day, and someone, I didn't remember his face. And he walks up to me smiling because the last conversation we had, he went away with hatred in his eyes. Because I said, damn your Jesus, your Lord, your gods and all. I did. I didn't hold back. But he knew when we would meet at Lowe's, I was persistent. And he knew that his youth could not challenge me. He could not talk on the same level. And when he saw me, this smile on his face, how you doing? I'm like, whoa, hold on, don't do that. I said, do I know you, sir? You don't remember me? I said, no, sir, I don't. He said, you remember me in Lowe's? And I said, yes, I remember you, my young friend. How are you doing? He was as gleeful as a pile of maggots on a rotten carcass. As a fact, there's nothing like honesty and truth.
Yeah.
Nothing. And realness.
Yes.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Look what the devil says here. And the devil takes him up and he shows him again the word all. A-L-L. Isn't it there?
Yes.
Has. The whole, the entirety, the volume of all. All what? The kingdoms. Does it say all the kingdoms?
Yes.
Does it say all the kingdoms of the world?
Yes.
Is YisraYah'ale kingdom?
Yes.
Is YisraYah'ale kingdom?
Yes.
Is the Esav in his Asia mountains? Is that a kingdom?
Yes.
He showed him all the kingdoms.
Yes.
He did not show him some excluding YisraYah'ale. He showed him all, past, kol, every kingdom, all the kingdoms of the world. He did not show him some. This is the stupidity of the Israelites. They don't examine words. They don't know what they're saying. He showed them all the kingdoms of the world, and he also showed them the dakach, the magnificence, the splendor, the elegance, the preeminence, the power. He showed them all of that.
Yes.
There is a semicolon. There, isn't it?
Yes.
So there's a statement that stands alone, but it stands alone without completion. And it completes in verse 9 because there's a comma at the end of verse 9, isn't it?
Yes.
And he said to him, again the word A-L-L, pass, all these things will I give you, will I diddle me, I have the power to give it. All these things will I give to you if you fall down. I'm going to use just that word he used. It is prokusnio. I want to define it if you want to me. Prokusnio. Proskusnio. It is, that's what he asked Joshua to do. It is simply to kiss the hand. You don't, the old proverb says, you don't bite the hand that feeds you.
Yes.
Can I ask you all a question? Do they kiss the hand of the Pope?
Yes.
They kiss the backside of the religious leaders today. See that? You're thinking that I got a concept. You have nothing of that. You think that Catholicism is the only religion that is of darkness? I see it in the Hebrewism, the Hebrew YisraYah'ale. I see it in every form of religion.
Yes.
They rob, they steal, they pillage, they take advantage.
Yes.
And they go to the weakest vessels and take advantage of the woman. They use the women. These whole houses would be nothing without the gullibility of the women. I empower you, daughters, to excel, to desire to be a wife.
Hallelujah.
To be a wife, not somebody's hoe. Not somebody's hoe.
Yes.
Not somebody's hoe. To be a wife.
Hallelujah.
One man. There's nothing more beautiful than a wife because she produced longevity in a man. You got to make me live and help me live.
Yes.
The days will be longer.
Yeah.
We are messed up people. When he said, if you bow down, you bow down. If you kiss the hand toward me, just kiss my hand. And then in all of that, you know, it represents one thing. It represents a deep devotion of reverence to that one. So they kiss the Pope, not his hand. They kiss his ring. You see, you think you're smart. They kiss the Pope's ring. They kiss the Pope's ring.
Yes.
Kiss his hand. How do I know that's problem? Because in Islam, they do the same. Hinduism and all of that. That's why you see men with goki rings on their heels. And that's what they kiss. The ring. You wear your jewelry, huh? I had to lay that foundation on lady. We'll get that.
Yes. Hallelujah.
If you bow down, all I want you to do is, quote, worship me, unquote. And of course, Yahshua have the remedy for it all. Read and study the entire chapter on your way of relaxing. The gullible is so self-righteous. Only he can. And he's going to help you by me spitting it out.
Hallelujah.
How about that?
Hallelujah.
How about that?
Shabbat.
I'm going to go back to where I began. All right?
Yes.
I began last Shabbat. Tehillim. Tehillim. Psalms chapter 3, one verse 8. Dawid understood in all of the perplexities of his agony. He says, Yahshua, salvation belongs, he is the only one that has command over Yahshua, the salvation. It belongs to Yah. There is a complete clause. Both of them stand alone because there is a colon there. When I said there's a semicolon, that statement stands by itself, but it's not complete unless we read the other parts of that until there is a concrete punctuation mark, which is the period. Is. The period represents the colons and functions of different marks. Semicolon represents there's a clause there, but it needs a completion. The colon says, I stand alone. It says here, It belongs to Yah. Colon. Your blessings, your berakai is upon your people. You see that?
Yes.
Sila. I lift you up. I want to lift you up. You know something is wrong with you or me. Oh, you never lift up Yah. When you sit before him mute, you don't have the ability. Something is twisted
Hallelujah.
in your damn little mind, man, woman. So what you want to?
Hallelujah.
And you're going to teach me? Like hell, you're going to teach me.
Yeah.
I'm not going to allow you to do it. We throw in a birthday party for grandmammy. Do they come in there quiet when they celebrate?
Celebrate.
Ah. I'm going to teach on that soon too. I said, may you show, said to their king, if Yah says to me, you can celebrate one or the other, and both of them are of the same equal of evilness. Christmas or birthday, which one? I'll choose Christmas. You don't even know the damnable reason and the culture behind that thing you call birthday. You don't even know the God power of that. And all of the rituals, everything from putting the damn candles on, 3 representations of that. And they're all evil in Torah. I don't give a damn what you think.
Hallelujah.
I don't care if you think, well, it means nothing. It's a damn lie. It's worse than Christmas.
Hallelujah.
It's worse than Christmas. And I'm going to prove it.
Hallelujah.
Well, I don't prove things by talking. I prove things by the examination of history and things, how things evolved. And I like the pros on a subject. I like the pro. I like to defend the pro. If people speak great reviews of it, now I'm coming for it. Your anniversaries and all. The Torah talks about the birth of the child. And it wasn't like what we call today. And that damnable thing, if I don't prove it, don't listen to me again, all right? He says that his blessings, his berakai, belongs to his people. It belongs to his people. I believe that. You believe that?
Yes.
In only one essence. This what belongs. How do we procure the blessings of it? Yeah, don't answer, all right? How did Hashatan try to get Yeshua HaMashiach to become a part of his matrix of deception? How? I just read it. Don't answer me. He wanted him to become subject to the power of his voice that he obeys. That he obeys.
Yes.
This is how we as a nation procure the blessing. It's in Devarim, I read it last week. Deuteronomy, Devarim, chapter 11, verse 27.
Yeah.
And I started at 26. I just want to read one verse. Devarim, Deuteronomy, chapter 11, verse 27. Yah says a blessing if you shemach, if you obey. If you hear the truth and there's a diligence of willingness in your heart to obey it from the moment that it is conceptualized in your mind. He says a blessing if you obey the mitzvot of Yahweh. Again, I ask us, how do we differentiate in the world of what we call blessings of the teeny Jakes world, the pretty hens world, the Bishop Eddie Long's world? How do we differentiate because they are living just like those that are sumptuous and devilish, wicked and corrupt? How do we as Hebrew Israelites know that what is a curse and what is a blessing? Or when they have big houses, it is a cursed house or a blessed house.
Right.
We're going to find out, nation.
Hallelujah.
So don't tell me that those that you call Hebrew Israelites are blessed of Yah. Yah says that a blessing. If you obey Yishmach, you hear with the discipline of obedience to follow it through. This is only a blessing if you obey the mitzvot of Yah, your Abba. Then he says, come, which I command you this day, colon. Dibarim is not finished because that doesn't stand alone by itself. It stands, but it needs a completion. And if you look at verse 28, there's a comment there, isn't it?
Yes.
He said, and a curse, a kilala, a curse, if you will not obey. So can I ask you, are we truly obeying Yah? He begins with one thing. And I show you a part of that is equal. To love him with all. And to love your neighbor, your re'ach, your ra'ah, the same as you love Yah. This is. You can't be no phony, twisted, damn hypocrite. And allow you. Because you're going to love your whole daughter more than you're going to love the little beautiful daughter of Zion. You're going to love your faggot son that wears his pants tighter than a woman with a dress on. That's what you're going to do. You're going to love your mother. And you don't really love her. Yah loves me. That's why he tells me the truth.
Hallelujah.
I'm working for the same thing you're working for that 1 penny. At the end. 1 penny of Yah, what is the value of that? Day with him is like 1,000 years, 1,000 years is like a day. So what is the value of that 1 penny? What came before you, that's all right.
Yes.
We're going to get the same reward.
Yes.
We better stop our childish, juvenile stupidity. What is the blessing? What is the blessing? How do we differentiate? Yah says, it shall be a blessing to you if you obey. Let's examine our heart. Do we really obey the Torah of Yah? When we hear the truth, that it creates a gladness and a happiness? I've seen men more emotion than women. I'm not around you, daughters. I cannot indict you on that. But I've seen men that their ways are effeminate. They look and they make faces. No man does that. Not a man. Not a real man. And I was a real man. That I am. That I am. And it's sad. So how we as elders lay a foundation for the young men to stand strong and to grow with the fortitude of strength, that they will stand and be strong unto Yah. Loving their wives. That's why you mothers, you better get your wicked ways right. You translate that into your sons and your daughters, how you are with your husband. You got a price to pay. You can pretend all you want to, but it doesn't mean a damn thing to Yah. So that's a fact. You can't give them, show them this form of duplicity. You pretend you're that and you know you're that way. That's evil.
Yes.
Very evil.
Yes.
It's a damnable devil. Okay, I don't care if it's your mommy, your grandmommy. You know why I say that? I intend to antagonize my enemies.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what Yah says about your enemies. I intend to. I want them angry with me. The Torah says a curse that you not love, you will not obey the mitzvot of Yah, your boss. So let me ask you a question. You call those that are my hue color, you will call them Hebrew Israelites. They will keep their someday they die that way. But yet they're going into the kingdom. Well, then it's all fake as hell. I can be a Christian because at least they will attend to each other better than you vile Hebrew Israelites.
Yes.
It makes no difference. If there is no hell, if there is no eternity, you'll leave this place. Don't give a damn what nobody says. No philosophy. But you see, I know better.
Yeah.
He's going to save a bochir, a small remnant. It's going to be minuscule to what the people of Yah. He will multiply the zera of Abraham like the dust of the earth. Can you count dust? Can you count the particles of dust?
No.
Can you count the stars of the heavens? Can you count the sand of the sea? I tell you what, get your bucket of sand while you're down there and see how long will you take you to get through the bucket. You won't even get through a nice cup while you're down there. These are fools that try to teach, and they need to be taught. Let me go ahead. He said, but you turn aside out of the way, not just the way, which I command you this day, and you go after gods. Is not Hashatan the God of this world?
Yes.
Has he not blinded the eyes? And so he's saying to you that are ignorant and we're dumb, just give your allegiance unto me. And I give you womankind, I give you drugs, I give you whatever you want, because he knows we're stupid.
Yes.
Yah says you love me, you love Yah, and you learn your love for Yah by obedience to his commandment. You understand your great love for your achim, or the chosim. Those 4 deal with loving Yah, don't they? Yes. And these 4 deal with loving YisraYah'ale.
Yeah.
You won't be partial to no one. I'm not partial to any part of my money.
Yeah.
I'm not partial. When I bathe, I scrub it all. I'm not partial to any part. Whether in my teeth, whether my hair, I take care of it all equally. The same. With the same attentiveness. That's the way I am.
Yeah.
And so you can't say you love Yah and not show love to you, my friend. I have to be able to understand. I don't need to know your business, but to understand your place, the delusion, the heaviness, the pain, the agonies, the doubts. You see, most of those that are your friends, they talk about bullshit. What about this or what this one is doing? When you heard from this and that's bull. Don't give a damn. What are your stories? I'll tell you this story today. How about that?
Yeah.
You're not in this battle alone. I have the same battle as you.
Yeah.
It is. Same wrestling.
Yes.
Just be a good cheer. This will fatten you up. Right?
Shabbat.
Hallelujah.
Yeah.
So only we obey the mitzvah of Yah. Only then. That's the only way, my friends. That is the only way. Well, who are the blessed ones? How do I differentiate? How do I know? I'm going to show you. And I'm going to finish this today.
Hallelujah.
Yeah.
I will show you the berakah, how it's produced, the substance. And you never heard it like this. You heard it, but not like this. I will go back to Bereshit in Genesis. A promise unto our forefather Abraham. Genesis, Bereshit, chapter 12, 1 verse. Verse 3. Yah says unto his prototype. That's what Abraham was.
Yes.
YHWH is the prototype of the Most High. And you can see where all these men of great strength, they were the prototype.
Yes.
And that's just a fact.
Yes.
But he says here in Bereshit 12:3, Yah says, I will brach. I will bow down with salutation. And not only will I bow down with that, but I will also curse you. When you use the words brach, you will say this. I will bless you, I will receive you, but I will also curse you. What is the word curse mean? What does the word kill? Because I will extricate you. I will tell you that you're dirty, you're nasty, you're abominable, you're filthy little liar. That's what it means. That's what the word brach means. It has more than one implication.
Yes.
Oh, baby, I bless you. Oh, baby, I'm so glad to see you. But you're going to take that mess off in my house. You come in my house like a hoe. See, that's what they were saying the days.
True.
That's what they were saying the days.
Yes.
You nasty little thing. Baby, you hungry? I got something to eat for you. You get that mess off in here. See, we're so damn corrupt and evil.
Yes.
Oh, so glad to see you, honey. Baby, you know better come here like that. You get that mess off you. You know, go in there, wipe that off, get that bucket and get you some water and wipe that mess off your face. That's how they did it.
Yeah.
So the word barach has connotations. The soul is sad.
Yeah.
That's why I pray these young men, Yah, raise up the prophet, raise up the messenger. Yah doesn't give his secrets to some faggot clown of a man. He doesn't give his secrets to some wicked man. He can do nothing first, but he reveals his shokta, his secrets unto the servants of Snavi. He doesn't give no secrets that folks making movies and mess like that, and you drawn from that. You are stupid as you look.
Yes.
And there are those that talk about stuff like that.
True.
They're stupid. They won't do it with me. I don't care any of you will not do it with me.
Yeah.
Because I will break your neck.
Yes.
I don't care who you are. I won't let you do that.
Hallelujah.
You can't quote 10 scriptures. You can't take me to the scripture where y'all did that.
Right.
I'm taking you to the book.
Hallelujah.
So y'all says, he says, I will bless them that bless you. I want to deal with that for a moment. Y'all says, anyone that bless you, anyone that says Abarach, anyone that says Abarach, and say, man, you are lazy. Come on, brother. That's a blessing. We think of a blessing saying, oh, you're so sweet, so nice, and so kind. A blessing is a word of honesty and truth.
Yes.
Is this a blessing to us that we all have fallen short?
Yeah.
We have come short of the riches of Yahweh blessing. Is that a blessing? All have sinned.
Yes.
There's none that has not sinned. Is that a blessing or is not? But is it a correction? You see how dumbed down we have become. You know why we're that way? Because we listen to me. We listen to our emotions. I will say words and you will think that I'm the demonstrativeness of the word. It is rude, it's cruel, but it's not. There's nothing more cruel than depart from me, you damn devils, you worker of evil. You workers of evil, you workers of iniquity. And we know what's in it. It is a transgression of Torah.
Yes.
Say, get out of my face, you damn devil. Why? Because you didn't love your neighbor.
Yes.
They're equal. And you didn't love me. If you love Yah, you're going to love, I love her just like I loved her.
Hallelujah. Yes.
She gets by with nothing. Matter of fact, she gets by more than what she does. And you get by more than what she does. And you get by every last one because I just don't play.
Yes.
Jimmy said, what did I do? It's not about what you did. It's not about what you did. It's just me preaching to you, woman. She didn't do anything. But I know the danger of ourselves. When we are like little children, when we left to ourselves, we bring shame and destruction unto God.
Yes.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
He says this to us. I will bless them that bless you. And Yah says, and curse I will arah. I will bitterly curse him that curse you. Till Allah, I will pay little account to them. So let me ask you a question. Esau has cursed us. And we walk under the umbrella of Esau's curse. And he does us wrong. Yah said, I cursed him. Well, what is Yah's curse upon the sons of Esau? You can tell me all the curses that are upon me as one that is birthed out of the loins of Abraham. But you can't tell me one curse of those nations that have done us wrong and have done YisraYah'ale wrong. You can't tell me one. Tell me one.
Hallelujah.
The sons of faggots. Well, hell, my natural brother, his son is a faggot. His daughter is a bull dagger. Will you embrace them? You don't want me to answer that. I would use the word hell and then I will put the word no to that. Are they afraid of you? Why, sure they are. They're not going to come around me. And it should be that way.
Hallelujah.
And something is sick with you if it's not that way. They know better. All I got to do is look at them. My natural brother told my sister one day he doesn't even hug me, and I don't. Why? Because he's a liar, he's a thief, he's a devil. He's a dog. Stole pittance from the only one as a mother that cared for him. We are hypocrites. This is what he says, he will bless those. So let me show you something here quickly. Turn to Sirach. Sirach, the great philosophical teacher that taught with such depth as he instructed the Hebrew of Yah. They were Hebrews, all right? This is what he says in Sirach chapter 44. Sirach 44. I want you all to hear this now. I would have begun at verse 19. At verse 19. It says this. Abraham was a great father of what? To many nations. Did he produce Ishmael?
Yes. Yes.
He did.
Yes.
He was a father.
Yes.
Not just because Ishmael was a Hebrew. You can say what you want to, dummies. They are dumb and stupid.
Yes.
But he was an Arabic. He was a Hebrew. He fathered the Arabic people, but his father was a Hebrew.
Yes.
His father received the promises in the flesh.
Yes.
He was still a Hebrew. He was still a Hebrew.
Yes.
He was still a Hebrew. There was no YisraYah'ale until that one came along. Until that one came along, and you changed his name to YisraYah'ale, that thou shalt prevail. YisraYah'ale prevail.
Yes.
All of their sin, they still prevail. In all of their negative performance, they still prevail. In all of their wicked ways, they still prevail. They owned and they took advantage. They had the power of the resource. In every country they went to, people feared them. They bowed down. They took everything. And their warriors were bad to the bone. David had some bad warriors.
Yes.
Look what he says here. Abraham was the great father of many people. What about the sons after? He said, Dawid. He married again. He was the father of those. He is the father of many people. Silly people. And no one has found him in splendor, and no one has been found like him in splendor. You see that word there?
Yeah.
If you don't mind, hold your finger there. I want you to go back. Oh, I'll read it for you. I want to go back to one reading here. We don't listen as we hear. Matthew 4 and 8. And he showed him all the kingdoms of the world. And does it say the splendor of them?
Yes.
And he showed him all the kingdoms of the world. And he showed him all the splendor of them. He didn't show him Abraham, because there was no one that has been as splendid as Abraham. Is that what it says?
Yes.
No one like him in splendor, in beauty, and faithfulness and commitment. It says that he kept the Torah of the Most High and was taken into covenant with him. Yours says, I want partnership with you, Abraham. There's no one that exudes the kinds of elements you do, because you're baby.
Yes.
Because he trusted Yah.
Yes.
Do we trust Yah? Do we really obey him? We don't.
Yes.
And you're going to exude your, what you call qualities above. You're silly. I want to show us some things, all right? That's how I will bless any nation or any people that bless you. So there is no one in the world that has ever blessed the Hebrew nation. The sons of YisraYah'ale, who were blessed in many incidents. Those that let them come through their land and then try to attack me. They said, no, don't mess with those folks. Bela and Balaam, whom Yah has blessed, you can't curse.
Yes.
This is the seed of Yah. And this Hebrew Israelite identity, they rest under the crudulence of their being cursed. I'm blessed.
Hallelujah.
I walk in Devarim 28:1 through 15. That's me. You find me there. I'm happy because of the testimony of Yeshua. I'm happy.
Yes.
You got money? How much do you have? All right, that answers the question. Look what Yah did. He established the covenant in his what? Flesh. He established the covenant in the flesh. Was Abraham a father of Ishmael?
Yes.
Was he a father of Ishmael?
Yes.
Was he the father of Yitzchak? And out of the fathering of the flesh of Yitzchak, was he the father of Yaakov and Esav? She was. That's why he just couldn't leave Esau alone, even the daddy. He blessed them both. He blessed them both. Dummies. He did. And when he was tested, he was found faithful. You haven't been tested. As Granny was says, the tests ain't come home. Tests. When he was tested. When your emotions are tested, you're faithful to Torah. When you're tested in your affection, your care for others, you're found faithful in Torah. When you're tested in your superficial false ways, you're tested in Torah. You must be found faithful. That's why that's one thing that's so important that we confess our faults. We're looking to find things and look to see what this, why this, and those reasons. Really your damn business. Mind your own business. You know, that was what they told me one time. I asked him a question, and he had been to prison, so we were somewhat intimidated by him. Back in those days, someone had gone to prison, you kind of knew that he could go down, he would come back buff, eating and sleeping and lifting weights and push-ups. So I asked him a question one day, and he had done this many times before, and he says, mind your own business, mister. It's not your business. Get out of my face. But that day, he took me the wrong way. You shouldn't have done that. I am going to mind my business. But I'm going to try to pull your head off your body. And I went upside his head. He's been to prison. So there was reservation, there was a reserve, a little respect, and you didn't want to mess with him. I tried to take his head off the top of his head. And I was ready, as they say, to throw down. You're going to battle now. Let's hook it out. Then when I saw his effeminate response, I was like, boy, you have cowed me down like this. You've been a bully to me. I went upside his head again, and again. Now, I wasn't going to hurt the man. I realized that he didn't have nothing. Yes. You talk that prison talk, but that didn't frighten me. Never had no problem with him. He never, mind your business, mister. But he was found faithful in the affairs of Yah. Verse 21, therefore Yah assured him. See, this is, we have the oath. The book is a promise. He has written this book as an oath to us. And Yah assured by an oath. Now, Yah can't go back on his word, can he? This is the oath of Yah. This is the oath of Yah. The nation, does it say nation? Yes. You can have Shabbat, N-A-T-I-O-N-A-S. He said the nations will be blessed through his prosperity. She'arith. The nations, not just a nation, but nations shall be blessed by the prosperity and the blessings of Abraham. There's no blessing upon any nation without the blessing of Abraham. What is the blessing? You've got to find that out. And what we see today is not the blessing. You tell me a man got a house that's 30,000 square foot. He doesn't even walk through it. He doesn't even know what's there. You got to have 20 people to take care of it. He's worried about his money. He's a greedy dog. He has not enough. You call that a blessing?
No.
That's a curse.
Yeah.
His master's not even himself. As they were saying, is the Almighty God. Period. Semicolon, that he would multiply him. Does it say the dust of the earth?
Yes.
You can't count dust. He will multiply him like the dust of the earth and exalt his prosperity like the stars of the heaven. Are we the zebra of Abraham?
Yes.
What do we call prosperity? What is the blessing? What is the blessing of Esau? You say Esau owned everything. He owned land, property, and all. What is his blessing? What will be our riches? What will be our blessing? What is going to happen in the kingdom? No, my friend.
Yeah.
No, no, no.
No.
We are the light.
Yes.
We are the one that shines with the excellence of God. We have learned the way of the world. That's why we don't own the cities of the world.
Yeah.
Greedy and we're selfish.
Yes.
And it's all come from one thing. To love your neighbor as you love yourself. Everyone is seeking their own. Everyone is seeking their own identity because they don't love Yah. But they will tell you, you can't tell me I don't love Yah. You're absolutely right. Because you're absolutely wrong. I can tell if you love Yah. Because the Torah tells me those that love Him.
Yes.
And it shows me, so you are flat out liar. Any man that says he loves me, this is a valuable day. This is the day of covenant. The Shabbat. Keep not his Shabbat. He's a liar, and the truth is not in him. If any man says he loves him and keeps not the commandments of Yah, he's a liar. So I can tell you don't love Yah. When you find time to try to undignify the Shabbat, and you do things that are evil on the Shabbat, and you know they're evil, don't tell me you love me. Nobody can tell me that's what they would say. I can tell you, you're flat out liar. You're a dirty liar.
Yes.
I don't care when you go to church. God told us to Shema, to guard the Shabbat, as with the heads of thorns. He says that you will multiply like the stars and cause them to inherit. He said, I'm going to cause the nation. So in order for us to inherit from sea to sea and from river to river to the ends of the earth, we must be in every part of the earth. His nation is in every part of the earth. His nation is in every part of the earth. So you tell me this is going to happen during the kingdom time? When everything is restored? Oh, that's a lie. Yah's word is a very present help in the time.
Yes,
it's
sir.
the time we're in the time of sabra. We're in the time of trouble.
Yeah.
And he calls his nation to inherit from one river to the other, from the great river Nile to the great river Euphrates, from one end of the earth to the other. His people are scattered in every part of the earth. They're there on the continent of Africa. They're throughout all of Africa. They're through Asia. They're through India. They're through China. They're in Russia. They're in every damn nation.
Yeah.
Everywhere. Ask us all one question. You, my friends, I'm teaching more to those that listen, but superbly to you.
Yes.
I've got a story to tell when I began this teaching in a couple of weeks. The ships that brought slaves, they were notorious for one thing. Usually there were a crew of about 40 people raping the women. They raped the women. What is the story we listened to, the man that... Tell me his name. Tom. What's his name? I can't hear. What is he?
John Newton.
John
Mr. Newton. What song did he write? John Newton. Amazing Grace. John Newton is the writer of Amazing Grace. And if you listen to that little narrative, you can see how... You think he was the only one doing what he was doing? How the leisurely pleasure with the women and taking... And they raped them on those ships. Can you imagine a man? You can't even go for 3 days. Can you imagine a man on a ship 40 days? And sailing from the coast to Brazil or to the islands, and the women in there make them bathe. They didn't even do that, and they were like vicious dogs.
Yes.
Why do you think you have the mulatto skin coming from his daughter's lighter than him? And look at her. Why do you think you have such variation of the mulatto skin? These are stupid dogs that tell people those lies.
Yes.
You brothers don't let nobody bring back damnable to the let's see it.
Hallelujah.
You now, brothers in Africa, in India, there's a group of people, you ask these stupid jackasses, they can't take, there's a group of people, how do you know things? Because I'm a student of life. There's a group of people in India today. They are known as, who know them? You don't know them. I'll tell you. They're known as the Charletta. Charletta, just like Charlotte. Charletta people. There were slaves in India under the British reign. You must understand that Britain owned India. And they are still the most oppressed people. Even the untouchables are not like them. And there's blackness in it, man, has nothing. And you tell me that's not YisraYah'ale. These damn dogs speak those lies. And these are cowards. They're little and they're cowards. They don't have the ability to talk from a platform of street because they don't know nothing. They sell around the world. And so I'm saying this, they produce babies in those women. You'd think they were getting old women like her and this old woman. They didn't rape old women like that. An old man like me. You'd think that's really what happened. What could an old man at 60, 70 years old do? He's not going to be worth no. The average slave here in America sold between $2,700. And you had to be a bull of a horse to get between $35,000 and $5,000. You had to be a witch that the master knew he was going to rape every day. His wife, demented, suppression, oppression, depression. Y'all don't want to deal with the reality of the truth. I'm a student of things.
Yes.
Can you imagine the babies they put in those women? And because they say, well, she's pregnant with child. You know, come on. We got a witch here. Get us 23, that's how they sold them. Because they were pregnant with those white babies.
Yes.
What if you came out of one of those babies? Are you Hebrew Israelite? Not according to the Hebrew Israelite doctrine. Look at her. Look at her skin color. You're not that dog. I got a story to tell us. I got a narrative to read to us. Why are you going to do it? Because I study things. I don't talk things. You're going to see I got my precious friend getting me charts ready. You'll see. I am going to teach you something. Nation. Hallelujah. I'm going to teach us all. This is how that Yah's people, he will bless Abraham in this magnitude. Are we blessed that magnitude? We're from every sea to every sea. In this nation here, we're not from the Atlantic Ocean to the Pacific. We're not from the Canadian borders to the Gulf of Mexico. And everywhere you go, that's where he said, I bless my people. You understand? So what are the blessings that Yah? We gotta refine that.
Yes.
Hallelujah. Don't you think so?
Hallelujah.
Well, let me read you this. Let me read you this. I know you all love the Brit Hadassah. So let me read this to us. In Asaph, Shalisha, in the Acts of the Apostles, Acts. This is what Kephah, the same one that denied Hamashiach, isn't he the one?
Yeah.
But this is what he says: we deny him every day. Every day in our walk, we deny him all day long. This is what Kephah said here in Acts 3:25. He said, you are the children of the prophets. Did he not say that?
Yes.
We are the children of the Navi. We have been developed by them. They have taught us. We have gotten instruction from them. And of the covenants, we are not of the Brit, the Uth, of the covenant which Yah made with our fathers. That he made with our fathers, saying to Abraham, and in your seed shall all, does he say all?
Yes.
Does he say fill that words pass?
Oh.
The word cold, the word pass, all, the whole, the volume. He says, shall all the patriarch, all kindred of the earth be what? Blessed.
Yes.
There is no blessing of the earth without the promise in the seed of Abraham.
Yes.
there is no blessing without the seed of Abraham.
Yes.
He did not say some of the kindreds. You know why he said all of the kindreds? These fools out here don't know.
Yeah.
And I say that. You know why he said all of the kindreds? You know why I said all of the kindreds? Just hold that. And I go back to Sirach 44:21. He says, and he will multiply you like the dust of the earth, and exalt his prosperity like the stars above, and cause them to inherit, and cause us to inherit, to cause us to inherit from where? From sea to sea, from river to river, to the ends of the earth.
Yes.
So all the seeds, all the kindreds of the earth, they shall be blessed, because his people on every part of the earth, their eyes look different, their skin color, their hair, every last one of them, every last one of them, they're in all parts of the earth. And he blesses the kindred. Oh, they're strangers and kindred because they don't know. It's one thing Evangelist Hartsfield taught me as a young man. He says, son, there are people that do not understand the definitive of Yeshua, but they keep the Torah of Yah. They keep it with purity and with sincerity. He said they're all over the world. And you don't even know about them no more than they know about you. That's why you old men, you're going to be in trouble. We play too much. You old women, you play too much. You've laughed and cackled.
Yes.
You played around.
Hallelujah.
When I tell you what I feel, you don't hear laughing around me because I don't play that. I don't like it.
Yeah.
It ain't funny.
Yes.
Should I do it now?
Yeah.
That's been like that with you.
Yes. Yeah.
That's me. When you're rolling over here, well, I have the power to do that.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about me dishonoring you.
Yeah.
Because when I care for you, I care for you.
Yes.
I get on that all the time.
Yeah.
Whom I care for, I care for. And you know it. She can't say anything. But do what she's doing.
Yeah.
Fact of the matter.
Yes.
Well, that doesn't give me any kind of wisdom. Well, let's look quickly in Galatians. Let's look what it says in Galatians chapter 3, verse 7. Galatians chapter 3, verse 7. This truth that I'm teaching you today, it wasn't established with me, Shaul. It was established with the teaching, the concept of the oath that Yah gave unto Abraham. This is not just something new. It is the same concept, the same thing Abraham taught. Galatians 3:7. He asks us, Shaul says, do you not know you therefore that they which are of Emunah? How did Abraham please Yah? By his faithfulness, was he not?
Yes. Yes.
How do you think we're going to please him? We must be faithful in all our endeavors. He pleased Yah, and Yah blessed him. He was a special, a splendid individual because of his faithfulness.
Yes.
That's how he pleased Yah. He said, don't you know that, know you not therefore that they which are of Emunah, the same are the children of Abraham? So how do you know, brother, those are the house of YisraYah'ale, unless you know the power of the Emunah?
Hallelujah.
You can't look at a man's skin and say, who is your daddy?
Hallelujah.
And men don't even know who their daddy was. Never met a daddy. Never seen a daddy. All I know about a father is the man my mother said was my father. No DNA. We looked alike though. A young man never seen a daddy.
Yes.
Never. My youngest brother never seen his daddy. Never seen him in all his life. Never met the man in all of his life. So you ask, who was your father? Does he have a picture of it? Let's get real, nation. It's just not who your father, but who's your father's father. And your father's father's father. And your father's 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 father. And your father's 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 father. And verse 8, and the XVII of the Torah of the scripture, foreseeing. Look what he says now. That he will justify the ethnos, or the heathen, those that are foreign unto YisraYah'ale. The word ethnos and the word goyim in the Hebrew, it usually represents a non-Hebraic people. But Yah, if you study scripture, you will see that Yah called his nation goyi. You see he called them goyim. You can see he called them ethnos, the same thing. Why? Because it's settled there in Sharai. His people are from sea to sea and from river to river, you understand? And so they were heathens, they were unlearned. They didn't have the same kind of practices as those that say, I'm a Jew, I'm a Yahudim, I'm a Hebrew Israelite. They didn't practice it like that. They didn't know, fools. And so they were sold by others as heathens. That's how Shaul sold them.
Yes.
He sold them as heathens. They didn't do the same thing.
True.
The old folks would say, boy, you ain't nothing but a heathen. Because she had a certain protocol. Our old parents had a way you did things. If you didn't do it the way they did, they call you a heathen. That boy ain't nothing but a heathen. He's a heathen dad. Oh, you've heard that, all right?
Yeah.
I would hear it as a young lad. So he says that Yah would justify the heathen, those that considered that did not kiss the hand of Yahshua. Those are what he called heathen. And those that have not embraced the testament of Yahshua. They don't know they're from sea to sea. They don't know it. They don't understand it. You don't even understand it. And we're here in one of the most prolific nations on the face of the earth. You get anything. You can order some 3,000 miles away today to be here tomorrow. There ain't no other place that can do it like this country here. You can find out anything. You can find out anything.
Yes.
You can compile data that you will come to a conclusion that is based upon knowledge of the matter and not feeling. You got to know how to rightly divide the word of Yah.
Hallelujah.
His people sell everywhere. It's amazing, my friend, that they will not even mention those that are Brazilians. 40% of the slaves went to Brazil. It was a shorter route. To come to Charleston, South Carolina, minimum it would take 83 to 90 days. That's 3 months on the ocean. And many of the slaves died and they were emaciated. And they dropped the best ones off through the course of the islands, and they had to stop for villagers of food. They did. And in America was one of the last spots. It's too much history.
Yes.
And I'm a student of history. I want our babies to learn, for them to know. They don't teach your children nothing in these crazy schools today. Teach them how to be fools and stupid and dumb. And just text all day. That's not knowledge. They taught me how to read. And I didn't have no phonics. But there are not too many words I cannot pronounce. There's not words, I will pronounce them. And then I got a speaking dictionary. I got a dictionary whereby words that you don't even know, it will pronounce it for you. It will have different people pronouncing it. See, that's how I spend my time. I don't spend my time wasting.
Yeah.
That's how I spend my time. You understand? Let me move on. Look what he says here. What did I stop? Verse 8. He says, through faith, preach before the message to Abraham. In you, does it use the word all again?
Yes.
Shall all nations. Well, that means the people, we are one nation. These tribes are not nations individually. We're one nation. We are Echad.
Yeah.
And there's only two, because Yahudah, their self-righteous ways, and YisraYah'ale is their dogmatic. They both are whores. Aholah and Aholabah, they both are whores competing against each other. Their dog is their dogmatic, and they're nothing but hoes. Not whores. Hoes. You want to boast that you are the tribe of Yahudah, you're Benjaminite? And the one that shall rise to hear against us shall come out of that tribe, the tribe of Dan. I will prove it. And you think you got something? Who asked for his death? We as a nation, kill him, red the dog.
Yes.
And we think we got something. We are stupid. We are a stupid people. You notice I said we.
Yes.
Plural.
Yeah.
And don't think that that negates you. We are stupid.
True.
We're the one who killed him.
Yeah.
Our elders say, kill him. Give us, damn it, Barabbas. He's a thief, and we love thieves and extortioners. They play you, they extort from you, they rob from you. That's what we love. Is that what they said?
Yes.
It was not Esau that killed or destroyed Hamashiach. It was his own kind.
Yes.
He was a nobody without honor among his own kind.
Yes.
It was his own kind that said, put him on the stake.
Yes.
Kill him. Away with him. And the trickery of Hashatan, I tell you what, this is the time of the year you have to feast days. We want to release one. Who do you want? Barabbas of this one that calls himself Hamashiach. Give us Barabbas. Give us a dog like us.
Yes.
And that's the way the spirit is of YisraYah'ale. It's a dog spirit. It's one that of treasony. It's treacherous. It's one of lying.
Yes.
It's one of dishonor. They didn't honor Yahshua. All the great works he did, they still dishonor him. And that's what we are. God gives you breath today. And you dishonor him.
Yes. Yeah.
He sent messengers to speak to us. And we dishonor them.
Yes.
Let me tell you. There's a brother. He said $200 last week. I just asked him. And I wrote the brother back and said, thank you so much, your kindness. We need it. And he writes me back. And these are his words. I should have wrote it. He said, Real, no thank you all there. I have grown so much and received so much. That makes me want to cry from that place. No thank you. I've garnered so much. I've become so much rich and so much humble. See, that's the type that say, come, let me do your roasted lamb. We will cook for you. I like people like that.
Hallelujah.
I like people like that. I don't like clowns. My friend, I've never been a clown. When I talk like this, I'm not boasting. I'm saying this because I don't want our young men to be clowns.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've never been one that was a jackass. I never played around. Even when I was young, I didn't even dress like the young boys. She liked me because I didn't wear sneaker shoes in school. I wore shoes. I didn't wear tennis shoes. I dressed different. A whole lot different. I carried myself different. And I was as wicked as them. But I didn't like being like them. And I don't like being like what I see today. And I will not be like that. We need older men, not clowns and jackass. We need older women, not shiftless and full of clownishness. Women that are solid and say, daughter, get it right. We teach you how to take care of your children and love your husband. That's what a mother's for. That's what mothers are for. Teach you how to love your husband. Teach you how to honor him.
Hallelujah.
That's what they're for, to teach you how to love and how to honor your husband. Teach you how to embrace him. Teach you how to care for him. That's what they're for. Not here just to be talking and dressing up in your Leslie Faith frock and think you're special because you're old. You're supposed to teach. You're supposed to teach them things of life and show them things of life. You're supposed to teach them that. You're supposed to teach them that. You're supposed to teach the young women how, baby, I see you're wrong on that one. No. It's you now. I've been around you a while. That's what the old man wants to baby, come over here. Sit down. Let mama plait your hair. And there will be a dialogue. I'm old enough to remember that. I'm old enough to remember that. I'm old enough to remember that. Now, baby, I will talk. I was going to talk with you now. And they would make them nice. Oh, mama, that feels so nice, baby. Now, your ways are just corrupt, baby. And baby, you know I love you. That's what they would do. And when they would get mom, my hand would feel so nice. And they would instruct them. Because that old mother had loved her husband as much as he worked. He didn't have nothing, but she loved him. And she cared for him. And she knew how to be quiet when he come home, all despondent, all unraveled. Even when he come home like a drunken dog. She didn't raise hell with him. Honey, you want some food? We're something. Hallelujah. We always sing them. Take me back. Take me back. See, we can sing that. But let's get to the reality of it. Take me back to all my wicked sins. Have I done things differently from that day? You were silly on that day. You're still silly. That's the way we are. We're looking at the blessings of y'all. Moving quickly here. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Let me move. Quick. Hallelujah. You're right. Hallelujah. I want to read this quickly here. Hallelujah. I want to jump down to Tehillim Psalms. Psalm Tehillim chapter 37 verse 7. This is what we must do, nation. This is the first thing we must do. There's a word that's in our language called dogma. Dogma. It is simply to wait and don't complain. Just be quiet. And David gives us understanding here. And Tehillim Psalms 37 verse 7. He tells us to rest. Doman. Be still. Don't get out of place. He says, rest in Yah, and you wait patiently with him for him. Don't complain. Don't get up loud. Don't get out of your element. Don't complain. Just wait for him. And don't get angry. Fret not yourself because of him that shalach. Because of ones that prosper, they advance. They seem as though they have and they show experience of their wealth and all of that, and they're succeeding as teenagers teach the people, and they're making progress, and they're very profitable. But Yah says, be patient, and don't worry about him that prosper. Shalach, in look his ways. You understand? That those that prosper in their ways, comma, because of the man that bring wicked devices to pass. Mizimah, they do evil. Yes. If Yahshua had obeyed what our Shatan said, he would have performed the ultimate of evil ways. So don't fret. Let Esau have the land. Yes. Let us learn to love each other. That's what we do. Let us learn to care for each other. Yes. Let Esau have the monies. Let us learn to grow some food and feed one another and forbear one another. Don't fret because of that. Don't get upset. Don't let that trouble you. Your house bigger than mine, but I tell you what, my house is the same size your house is going. I don't care how big you're going, 300 pounds. When you die, you're going to wither down to nothing. You're going back to what you came from. And I'm not going to ever stop talking about we die, because we is going to die. Not we are. We is going to die. D-I-E. We're going to be Musa. That shall be Mavesa. You're going to run away. We're not going to have a bone. You understand? That's a fact. I don't fear that. I'm a fighter. You gonna die? No. I got too much work around here to do with die. I ain't checking out right now. But I'm just saying, we realize and become cognitively conscious of death. And the reality of it, we will not do the things we do. That's why you do them today, because I want to tell you something tomorrow. I promise to you. You ain't that sweet. No, you're not.
True.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
That's a fact, nation. So are those that prosper because of the wicked devices? So are those that of the seed of Esau prophet because of the wicked devices? Let me ask you a question. Are those that they call themselves Hebrew Israelites, do they prosper because of the wicked devices? You got dope dealers and dope sellers. You got islands. The whole economy is based on dope. But they're Hebrews. And they don't give a damn who they sell the dope. They don't care if they destroy the young woman who her emotions have drawn her away. I don't take no pride in I don't take no pride in nothing. I don't take no pride in Hebrew Israelites. I don't take no pride in nothing. I'm not a man of any kind of pride. I take pride in my children. Any pride is damnation. Any pride. That's one of the things that Evan Hartford taught me when I first met him. You can have no pride. I don't care what it is. Proud of my son is damnation. It's damnable. Or I can knock on wood, I'm proud of my daughter. That's damnable. So I ask you a question. They're getting the dope from Esau, And they're bringing the dopes to the ghettos and the inner hoods and all that. Esau is not coming in there because of their wicked devices. And the one that live in the hood with you, does he have a big house and all kinds of cars? Sure they do. Diamond brooches and all of that. So you tell me diamonds and earrings and all that is of Yah, that's a lie. Yeah. These countries, look at Nigeria, how that syrup that the people are taking about the syrup. They're dying. The daughters are selling their bodies. And same thing in America. You Hebrews are like, damn you, devils. Yeah. Damn you all. Yes. And I mean that. They're liars. Yes. You're YisraYah'ale. Yes. And there's a small remnant of that noteworthy election. Sharat, quickly. He gives us a great understanding of prosperity. Sharat, I want you to read the entire chapter of Sharat, chapter 12. I want to begin here in verse 8. I want to move somewhat expeditiously, all right? Sharat 12 and 8 says, a friend cannot be known in shalach, in prosperity. What is prosperous friend can be known in that kind of circumstances. You're not making progress, you're successful as the world says, and all of you do it. What a friend cannot be made known then. Nor will an enemy be hidden when you have an adversity. When you're going through trials, you're going through deprivation of your growth and the truth of Yah. An enemy is not there to help you. And it's something about us, we embrace enemies. We trust enemies, but we don't trust one another. I want to show something what the book says. A man's enemies are grieved when he prospers. I have no enemies. So when a man prosper, he's shalach, then a man's enemy will get upset. Can I show an example? One gets a new car in the hood, everybody gets jealous. People come on, let me look at it, let me look at that. You as well, over a damn car. I'm moving out, you get jealous. I guess you're moving up on the east side now. I'm speaking truth, and I know what I'm saying. Yeah. Your house bigger than mine. Your children dress nicer than mine. You get jealous, even living in the ghettos. You understand? Yes. It says, and in his adversity, when a man go through battles, Yah's not a liar. Even his friends will separate from him. Not everybody's going to wash your backside. I don't care if it's Hercules or Samson. They're not going to clean you up. Even friends desert you. In your adversity, in your death, we need one that sticks closer than a friend. And so if the power of his witness of Yeshua is in you, you will stay close to me. Yes. You will stay close to me. Hallelujah. Yes. Even friends will abandon you. You understand that? Hallelujah. Yeah. The Torah says this, never trust an enemy. I trust no enemy. That's what I've said to people, those that I will even allow to come back, but I will never trust them. I will do it right up to my enemy. But the Torah said, never trust your enemy. Now this is bad right here. Why? For he is like the rusting of copper, so is his wickedness. Now I know of oxidation and things like that, but ain't no copper gonna rust. You can't get rust on no copper. You get rust on steel, and that's an age like, you know, one like that, they're so wicked, don't trust them. If you get some rust on copper, something is wrong, baby. You get rust on copper. If you ever see copper rust, you will see it turn colors, you will see oxidation, but ain't no rust on copper like no steel. It ain't gonna happen. And so y'all saying your enemy's wickedness is that way. If you can find copper rusted, you won't even know who your enemy is. And they smile and they think and they don't give a damn. You're not going to talk about the riches of Yah. You're not going to do the things of Yah. Let your conversation be on Yah and Him alone. You find out to him, well, and that's just a fact. That's what he says. Hallelujah. A friend is not a friend because you have blessings. He will bless all nations that bless. YisraYah'ale. Someone hit the lottery, he got friends coming from everywhere. Ken folks. And everybody got their hands out, not me. I wouldn't even go in the company of them. But you know your brother here for $3 million? That's, well, let him spend it. Right. Hallelujah. 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 There's a little more progression of what Torah says. Chapter 25. Quickly. I want to show us what is being prosperous. I want to show you the greatest blessing you could ever have. Who wants to know that? I do. Give it to you. Torah 25 verse 5. Read the entire chapter in your time. Listen to this, old men, old women. He said, how beautiful is wisdom in old men. There's nothing more rich and beautiful than old men that are great bearded like you and me. To talk with wisdom, to act with wisdom. To walk like they had an experience with Yah. Wisdom is a comradeship with Yah, a compatriot, that you walk with him, you talk with him, and you know how to respond in all things. You're sober, you're seasoned, and you act that way. You're sober, you're seasoned, your countenance. I want to show you something. The countenance tells us a lot, but do we buy it a lot? Not. I don't give a damn what your ways were when you were young. You need to grow out of those ways. I don't like like I did when I was 17. I don't like like I did when I was 50 or 55 or 60. Even the years bring about changes. You understand that? I know that the older I get, the closer I am to death. Look what he says. How beautiful is wisdom in an old man. Not because your hair's gray, but how beautiful is the hukmah, the understanding of the power of Torah. In all men, does it say that? Zakei. Well, I'm older than you. But you don't act older than me. You don't have the wisdom I have. In all men. And understanding and counsel of men to men of honor. Because a man that is only that wisdom, he knows how to counsel. He knows how to break a man down. He would tell a man, shut your mouth. Your words are stupid. They're immature. This has nothing to do with the prosperity of God. Well, let me go no further. He says, rich experience is the crown of age. When a man, see, when I talked about the young fellow Kendrick, people would get all emotional. But see, I know my experience in life. Rich experience is the crown of the age. A fool, his life has been spent in folly, laughter, and clowning. But a man of experience that has dealt with a volume and a spectrum of people in all kinds of things and knows how to engage in interact, that's a rich experience. It's a rich experience of the age. And their boast, their boast is in the fear of Yah. You know, talk about, I was born here, my people are rich, my black folks are, the Asians are rich. No, that one has an experience across the spectrum of humankind. You understand? Yes. The one has an experience with a broad base of people, whether they're poor or rich. What do we call them, small or great? There ain't nothing greater than that. And he boasts that I fear Yah. Why? Because he does right by every man. He does tough unto all men. He did not say some men. But especially Yisrael. When you identify that he is YisraYah'ale, come on, let's do something exceptional. What you like to eat. If nothing else, I can offer you bread and food. What do you like to eat? Come and sit with me and let's have a wonderful meal. That's what we do. This is what he says here. Verse 7. Look at this quickly. He said there are 9 things. Why do you think he named 9 things? Can I tell you? Because when we look at the numerology of Yah, 9 is the number of fruit. You bear fruit. There is a completion of the word of Yah in one. One falls, but one gets right up. One doesn't act stupid all the time, one gets up. One is not silly, one gets up. So number is the number of fruit. And these are the things that will bring you the prosperity of the fruits of Yah, all right? That's why I want you to read the whole chapter, all right? Yeah. He says, there be 9 things which I have judged in my heart that gladdened it. It makes me so happy. I rejoice in it. It makes my heart thoroughly free. And the 10th I will utter with my tongue. A man that has joy with his children. Daddies, there's nothing like that. You train your sons upright. And wife, don't be hard-headed. You train them in the counsel of his wisdom of his home. You train his daughters and his son upright. You mothers, that's how you do it. And don't capitulate from what his standard is. Why? Because it will bring joy in a lot of ages. These children, they're not bringing joy to parents. They're doing every damn thing. Yeah. Drugs and homosexuality. Yeah, you'd be surprised. Whores and faggots, devils. Ain't nothing for you to get all of his sons. If you train them up right, they won't turn away. You don't train them up right, they're going to turn away. I don't give a damn what you say, Daddy. I don't care what Mama says. You bring them up right and feed them. They will not. They will not. I believe what God says.
Hallelujah.
They will not go away.
Yeah.
You train them up in the way they should walk. And when you train something, you continuously repeat the same thing over and over and over. We don't want nobody to tell us how wicked we is. We don't want them to tell us we're wicked and we're nasty. We don't want that to be repeated. When everything in life is a repetition. Everything that you speak is a repetition. We don't want nobody to tell us we're damn dogs. We don't want that.
True.
We don't want to hear nobody say you're a liar and you don't have the truth in you. We don't want to hear that.
Yeah.
That's all you say, but that's what you need.
Yes.
Can I ask you a question? Does the book say the same thing in all sections of the book? Over and over. It says the same thing. If you read it every day, it's going to say the same thing over and over.
Hallelujah.
It's going to say the same thing. It doesn't change. It's going to say the same thing. Why? Because we never comprehend that one thing. That's why we're not rich. That's why we don't have aged men that have experienced they're silly and they're dumb and they're stupid. I hate that about a man. I can forbear that a woman or something. I hate the juvenile, childish ways of a man. Immaturity. It almost like a female dog, and they will demonstrate that kind of action. Female dog will say, that's the way they are. That's weak. The men get just so upset about the smallness in the sense that they don't want to hear truth. That's wrong, brother. Come on. I've always been able to listen to men that are armed and comprehend with this rich experience. Listen to what he says. My boast is in the fear of Yah, the 9th and the 10th I will utter with my tongue. A man that has joy with his children. You see the other part what he says? And he that lives to see the fall of his enemy. Wow. Yahshua's going to outlive the devil. You're going to see the fall of his enemy. Yes. No weapon that form, it's not going to prosper. And I'm going to live long enough to see the fall of my enemy. That's right. Yeah. I may die before you, but you're going to fall. But a man that lives long enough, see, we don't think like that. We've got this superficiality that we want to treat everybody right and nice. Listen, we do right by all men. Man is on your feet. And we think that they are friends. Now, if a man has not learned to be a friend of no one, he will never be your friend. He will use you for his own expedience and his own woman too. That's just a fact of the matter. Because they will not lay down one thing for you. No greater love than this that a man will lead out his life. With friends. And that's what we have to have. Everybody's not my friend. And there have been many here that they were not my friends when they came. They were never my friend. Because a friend you trust. And there ain't too many men that I trusted. Hallelujah. Look what he says here. Sirach 25:8. He says, Sholach, in order to advance to show it, prosperous and well is him. There ain't nothing like that. It dwells with the wife of understanding. You wives, don't be fruitcakes. You bring the riches of your blessings to your home. Can I read that again? Hallelujah. Prosperous and well is him that dwells with the wife of understanding. Daughters, there's nothing more richer than that. Not you raising hell with. I will prosper. And you will say, my strong man, look at you, baby. You know that's why I'm not here. Let me jump in your arms. I don't have strength for that. Look at you all. You know, we have lost the sensitivity of love, and we don't even know the functionary actions of that. Now let me sit down and you sit on my lap. How about that? I ain't about to pick you up. I used to. Get on my back. Rise. Too old now. Can I read that again?
Yes.
This is what it says, Achim. It did not say wise, I don't believe. It says prosperous.
Yeah.
Well is him that dwell with the wife of she discerns. She has the ability to say, this ain't right. I can't say that. I can't do that. With the wife of understanding.
Yes.
And that has not slipped with his tongue. Don't slip with your tongue, man. You can't say anything. You can't begrudge them. You can't say things to humiliate them and speak to them like that.
Hallelujah.
You can't do it.
Hallelujah.
And that has not served, I won't do it, has not served a man more unworthy than himself. There are men that do not have the same worth and value. And I'm not going to serve no man, I'm not going to work with no man that doesn't even have the worth of truth in him. I'm not going to do it. And I'm not going to let you come here, never go through the battles that I have, and you're going to tell me something. I'm not going to let you do it, man, woman. I don't know who you are.
Yeah.
You live with me, you work with me, you suffer with me, dead, made bad.
Yeah.
And that juveniles get offended at that, that's stupid. You can't teach me the things of Yah. You can't show me.
Yeah.
Because I can look at me. I look at my life. I look at you.
Yes.
I look at those that want to always tell you something. They don't have nothing. You don't have nothing, man. You can think, we can think highly of ourselves because we have not prospered in the understanding. And that's why you think that way. I don't have to think. I don't think highly of myself. I know who I am. I know what I'm capable of doing, and I do it. I can do what I do.
Yes.
And I just do it. I don't need no comments. Don't like them. I don't like no kind of exaltation. You all been with me. You've been with me from day one. You've been with me. I've never allowed you all to get up. That's why I stopped testifying. I don't let you get. You're not going to do that with me.
No.
You're not going to do it. I never allowed that.
No.
Oh, he's such a great man. No, don't give me that bull.
Yeah.
I'm weak and fragile just like you. It's just that one body. This leg right here hurts. And this one hurt too. But I need the both of them. You understand what I'm saying? Both of them got weakness. But I need the both of them. Both of us are weak. But we need each other. I need you, my friend. I need you, all right? Hallelujah. And that's the way that things operate, all right? He says, prosper and well is him that find prudence. Look, let me tell you, that means that one that has found prudence and balance. We can walk in the health, ismape, the wealth of Yahweh. That's what this is implying. So you can't tell me, wake up, just wake up, we ain't got that much more time, wake up. Don't tell me that you say you're prudent and wise, and you don't even have the health of Yah. You're not healthy, you don't look healthy, you don't act healthy. Look what he says. And he that speaks in the ear of them that will hear. So when a man speaks in the ear of those, when I talk, you're going to listen. So when a man talks, if he's prudent, he knows that people want to hear what he got to say. Not talking about the movie now.
Yeah.
That ain't prosperous. You got to talk from the book.
Yeah, that's right.
You will hear. Look at this. Oh, how great is he that finds and gains wisdom. When a man finds that wisdom, when he has that experience with Yah, he has gone through all of the battles of life. There's nothing more precious than that man. He can pray you through. He can sit down with you. He can counsel you on wise things, and he will open the book to counsel you. He won't just open his mouth with foolish parables. Yet, all of that, nation, you'll hear me, you can have all the riches and all of that and all that wisdom, but yet there is none above him that yirah, that fears Yah. Daughter, there's not one above one. I don't care how, you know, her beauty looks and her fake beauty. There's not one that is more precious, of great value, one that possesses riches, of one that fears Yah. And you fear Yah because you examine your heart constantly. You don't do stupid and silly stuff. I examine myself all day long. I do, nation. I'm not trying to boast. When you know you're wrong, you know when you're wrong. Even a child knows that, because a child will look to see who has observed it. You know you're damn wrong. But your self-righteousness, and because you are so poor in spirit, we can't say I'm wrong. Even a child recognizes when they are wrong. And we become such old, simple heads, we can't even realize that we're wrong. I asked the Akeem mother that said, he said, it's rain. I said, I'll do it. Well, I knew once I asked him they were going to do it. I didn't have no problem with that. But I was going to put them in the rain if I didn't go in the rain. And after I fussed a little bit and fussed a while, I went right in the rain and I went with them. This is how we do it. And the wind was blowing on them like me. It makes no difference. So you cannot subjugate one to something that you're not willing to do. There's nothing on you not willing to do. And when someone is struck you, they're willing to do it. You're a silly fool. And they would have lost their blessing. I knew they were coming. I have no problem with that. Let's get it done. I know it's going to stop raining, but I want that to penetrate and soak it. Let the rain push it on in now. That's all right. And I gave them all the parable. I said, you know what? I was a garbage man at one time. I was. And they work in rain. You don't stop pulling garbage because it's raining. I said, that garbage man out here working today. Give me that ball. Folks down there, Mexico City and Florida, they're working in the rain. Those men put up power lines, they're working. This is how. It's sad for us. It's sad. It's one thing I have. I have a little. Me out. Just a little. And this is my comfort in knowing they got a little small shack to lay in tonight. I'm ready to eat because I'm hungry. I ate at noon yesterday and I really didn't eat nothing else, so I'm hungry. This is what Dawid says. I'm going to read this quickly. Tehillim 37, verse 16. He talks about the meat-ox. He said, a little that a righteous man has is better than riches. That's what he says, right? Yes. Than the riches of many Rasha, many wicked. Those that are criminal. But Hamun is not just Oshia. It means, it's one thing about people that are rich. They're always confused. They're greedy. They have no control of their wealth. They're always murmuring. They always crying because they lost 600,000 and they wanted to make 600 million. And they're not satisfied with 600 million of it. They're not satisfied with a billion. Mr. Gates is not satisfied with a billion. He's not satisfied with that. But what's his name at Amazon? What's the man's name? I know it. Because what's his name? Bezos. He's not satisfied with all the money he got, over $100 billion. And let me tell you something, nation. You're not going to be satisfied with $1 million, or $2 million, or $10 million. You're going to become more selfish in your greedy ways. You become more sumptuous living. So just a little that we have is better than all. He did not say a few, but he used the word Rabbah. I don't care what Esau you call Esau on. I have little, and I'm glad. I have little truth. I have a little desire, and I allow that to grow. Everything starts from a small little seed. Can nobody go in here and find one of those seeds that I scattered in the four corners? And you can't tell me what kind it is, but that little brings forth a beautiful broccoli head. That little seed of an onion brings forth an onion that big. Come on, nature. That's why one little sin I leaven the whole lump. But Dawid gives me something great in Tehillim. Tehillim, moving quickly. Tehillim 73. 73. We all have these trials of temptation. 73 and 1. The blessings of God. How do we differentiate between what we call the curse? And if Esau is cursed, why, he owns everything. Look what that we said here. Man of splentaculous wealth. Truly Yah is tav to YisraYah'ale. Does it say that?
Yeah.
And this is us in bondage. But he's still tav to his nation. Even such that of a bar, clean, pure. And that word bar, B-A-R, just like these hellholes they call bars. It means that one is beyond sincere. You can tell when someone is sincere. When a man's heart is clear, he's sincere. When a daughter's heart is clear, she's sincere. When a man's heart is pure with his wife, sincere, she knows that she can trust in that heart. A man knows he can trust in his wife's heart. Listen to what he says. He says, such as of a clean heart. But as for me, he's talking about him. He knew his sins. He knew how he was easily corrupted. When he had everything it was, everything, the house of his master, he took the one that represented Hamashiach. Because Yeshua was fighting the deepest battle for us. And so he said, you're out in the deepest of battles. And say, put him in the front that he may die. Who turned against YisraYah'ale? Those that we call the Yahudim. Those that were YisraYah'ale, they say, put him to death. The story is told in every place. He was the one that represented the power of Yah. Yah says, I will not be drunken. When I get drunk, when I come in my drunkenness, you will know because I'm carrying up everything. Yet he laid down his life. Yah said, I gave you everything Shabbua had this house. Everything. And you stole this one man's money. And you killed him. Your lust. It is much more insidious than killing him. Look what he says. My feet were almost knocked off. I was almost perverted. He said, my steps will nigh shafach. I almost slipped. I almost allowed the gravity of that wickedness to be poured into my mind. He said, I was envious. I was so jealous. Look at what he was jealous at the foolishness, the halal, the boastfulness, the pride. When I saw the prosperity of who? The wicked, the criminals. He said, when I saw that, I almost forgot you. Fool.
Yeah.
That was a foolish concept.
Yes.
But he realized,
Yes.
I keep my eyes on him. We're broke. We need finances here, but we're going to be all right. We're going to be all right. He will supply. And that's a fact. And that's a fact. Because he always has. He said, when I saw the abundance of the wicked, when I saw the Donald Trumps of the world, when I saw someone that was born in a house, Barack Hussein Obama, his mother, his father, yet he had reached the zenith of, he got so much money he doesn't even know what to do with it. That's a fact. We're in sad shape, nation. So how do we differentiate between these? The wicked are cursed, and yet you only amplify what you call the curse of the Hebrew Israelites. You're cursed because you're wicked. A whole fast of Divarim 1 through 15, chapter 28. You buy the rest, all right? And the word curse is only used 9 times in there. In Divarim 28. Divarim 27, you got. But let me ask you, where are these people that call themselves Hebrew Israelites? Where are they owning land? They don't raise no cow. They can't even explain that to me. I remember when I preached that to old fella down there I used to visit in Atlanta, working with him. I preached that. I had the old man that lives on the street with me, his wife, and I preached that in his house. I said, you read for me. I'll preach it. And this man was overwhelmed. He said, I've never heard, I preached every verse throughout the entire chapter. He said, I've never heard it that preach. My. Didn't need no notes or nothing. I don't need no notes. I'll copy scripture down so I can move quickly. Hallelujah. Moving on quickly. Don't become envious of the foolishness. It's foolishness. She got a nice car, you have the tinge of jealousy. She got a nice home. That's silly. That is so stupid. You are so immature. Now, what is a damn nice house? I do the same thing in my house that Mr. Biso does in his. I sleep, I eat, and I sit on the toilet. That is so dumb and so stupid. A nice car. Oh, man. As long as I get to A to B, I'm all right. I get back, I'm fine. I just don't want to break down. I'm fine. But this is how stupid that we become envious. I don't want no 40-year house payment. I don't want that. I want to show you the attributes of the wicked now, but they're prosperous. David says that we read in verse 7. Look down at verse 7 of the same chapter. This is what he says. Your eyes like this, their eyes stand out with chilek, with fatness. They want the best, they desire, they want the choices of all. He said their eyes stand out with fatness. They have more than one could mashkith, more than one could desire. They have more than that one could wish. There's an element to them. He said they are corrupt. They are muk. They are corrupt. They speak evil concerning oppression. You know something? Well, he's all right. He's making $8 an hour. You can make it $800 an hour off his $8 an hour. They speak lawfully, a maroon proudly. They set their mouth against the heavens, and their tongue walk through the earth. That's the way we are. That's the way we carry ourselves. There's no berakah but the berakah of Yah. There's no curse but the curse of Yah. And the word, the different applications of curse mean nothing what these crazy people are saying. It has no implication. And you boast and you take it as a badge that you are cursed. You got to 2019. And when I began the teaching that I will begin, we're going to begin at 1500. Doing the entire, what we call the transatlantic, the transtriangular, and the Arabic trade routes. I wonder what they're going to say next year, y'all's year. They left YisraYah'ale, did they not? Yeah. With great riches. They carried out everything. They borrowed, or they took their gold and their silver. Did they leave? And what did they do with all their gold and silver? They offered it up to the gods. Everyone made their own god. That's what we do when we become selfish and we don't give a damn about each other. Yeah. You show more concern for the wicked. You care more for those that are violent and vile. You see them through, but you won't see one of the nation through. You'll take care of them and look after them, but you won't look after the nation. That's just a fact. That's what we do. I've proven nothing to the wicked. It's how I feel. If you need something, I'll give it to you. If I got it. And that's just a fact of the matter. Quickly. Let me ask us a question. Look at Tehillim 73:11. I want to continue this. This is how they speak with their tongues against Yah. And they say, how does Yah know? Isn't that what we've always said? He can't see us. How will he know? Is there knowledge in the Most High? This is how violent we are against him. He sees and knows everything. Behold, Yah says, behold, these are wicked men and women who what? Prosper. Does it say they prosper? Yes. They are wicked. Tell me the blessings of Yah. If what we call prospering and prosperity, Yah says these are wicked men, Dawid, don't worry. They prosper, they shaliv, they have everything at ease, they're quiet in the world. In the world. They prosper in the world. We're in the world, but we're not of the world. We're not of their wickedness. They increase in what? Riches. They increase in riches. So I ask you, nation, How do I differentiate between the riches of the wicked, Esau, and the wicked riches of Yah? I know everybody got the answer. I will see what the book says, all right? Yeah. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Yeah. I will show us one thing that is better than all that they have. Will you buy it today? Will you buy the truth and sell it now? Yeah. Yeah. Let's return back to Sirach. Sirach chapter 4. Verse 26. Sirach 40:26. This is what the excellent book says. Riches and strength lifts up the heart. You're rich, you got strength, it makes you boastful and proud. But the fear of Yah is better than both. Do you understand that? Hallelujah. The fear of Yah is better than riches and prosperity. The better kind of Yah when Yah bless you to fear Him. Hallelujah. You know one thing for sure, He's dealing with you. And He loves you. There is no want in the fear of Yah. There's nothing you need. That's nothing you want. Hallelujah. That's nothing you got to have. Yes. And with it, there is no need to seek for help. You got everything because He is our Ezra. He is our Ezra. There's nothing greater. No riches, no money. I don't fear the sons who you call Esau. Can't one of them bind me. Can't one of them bring me subject. I get favor from men. And they do and they give to me. Why? Because I'm not a false, fake one like you. And that's just a fact. This is what Yah says. The fear of Yah is like a garden of what? Blessing. You can go there to a garden and harvest anytime. And when a man has the fear of Yah, he can harvest the blessings anytime. That's how we harvest the blessings of Yah. Not your Cadillac. It's going to break down. It's going to tear up. The house going to get, it's going to begin to crumble. The fear of Yah is like the garden of blessing and covers him above all splendor. Does it say that? Yes. Is the one that showed Yahshua all the kingdoms and the splendor thereof? Yes. We are covered with the splendors of Yah. Hallelujah. It's sad that we don't know how to love Him. Because what He commands us is grievous to us. If it wasn't so grievous, we have made His ways grievous and hard. We're dissatisfied with His ways. We don't want the challenge of loving each other. We don't want the challenge of enduring and tolerating each other. I do, son. I do. I want to die around you, so if they call you, you know that big quiller, you're running. That's right. Nothing like that. My oldest, next to the oldest brother died. My sister called me, and I told them I wasn't coming. You all know that. Yes. My young brother, and the sister went. So I said, who came? He said, just us. He was a nasty individual. And folks could have gone there and like, hell, you won't know who's coming to yours either. Right. So it doesn't make any damn difference. Right. I'd rather know that you just bury me. Yes. You know why? Because they come with lies, and whoredom, and hypocrisy. True. That's right, old woman. True. And full of folly. Yes. And some lying dog make a speech over you, yes. And your drug daughter died, shot up with dope. Your drug-head son, the whole of a daughter that someone killed or prostituted. I don't want that kind of lying mess spoken over me. Yeah. Pay somebody $100 to tell a lie and don't even know me. Yes, and receive cries of an early age. 14. I don't want those lies. Yeah. Come on, let's get real, nation. Yeah. Let's be sincere about every aspect of everything. We can't go that way. I want to close with two writings. I want to give us a great diamond, not De Beers diamonds. Diamonds had no value unto the De Beers and those of that conglomerate to go to diamond mines in South Africa. Diamonds were cheap. And they came out with one slogan: diamonds are girls' best friend. And women have been dumb to the dumbest on that. And men have played even dumber because they think that that's a woman's friend. That came from the De Beers. Rich dogs, they call themselves Jews of South Africa. No value. The Torah doesn't mention diamonds. Mention carbuncles, rubies, pearls. And so they sold the women on that. And men were just as dumb as the man that started that. And you tell me that's my wife's best friend. I would pray that I'm her best friend. I would pray that YisraYah'ale is a friend. And that's just a fact, YisraYah'ale. We have been played on, we have been dumbed down. Let's just say you can't play me no more. Listen to what Shaul says unto us. Scattered throughout Rome. I want you to hear this. Romans chapter 2 now. One verse 4. Romans 2 and 4. He asks us all the questions today. If I've taught, preached, explained, do we despise you, the poltos, the riches, the wealth, the abundance, the great possessions? Do we despise the riches of yours? I want to read it the way it is. Of His goodness. Because the words kresotes, it means His kindness, His virtue, His pleasantry. That's what it means. How we despise the great Tav of Almighty Yah, kresotes. We despise that. We prefer things over truth. He said, and the forbearing of His long suffering with us. He suffered long with us. Not knowing that His pleasantry, His kresotes of Yah leads you to repentance. It is just His kindness. Don't you understand how rich that is? It's richer than a big house and a treasure chest of diamonds and money. It's richer. It's greater than that. Those are the blessings. To know that His time, when I wake up, a wicked, violent creature like me, that He suffered along with me. He has forbeared me. That is the blessing of YisraYah'ale. And people should be damned. All of us should be damned. And yet He forbears us. He accepts us. He bathed us in the dam of YHWH. That is a great blessing, nation. We have lost it all. We have lost any sense of true direction of Torah. We are dumb people. And that's just the fact. I'll share with you, son, I want to share this with you. I want to show you the most profound power when one is rich with the berachah of Yah. I'm going to read it. I want you all to hear it. I want you all to just pay attention to me for a moment. Listen to this. I'll tell you what it's on. And I want you to read the whole chapter. Shaul writes unto Timothy, his beloved young brother, Elam. What a blessing that is to have a man like Shaul that just loved the young brothers and shared with them and gave them and instructed them. He repudiated them. And when he was in his way, he would kill you, your baby, and all. He would kill you all. Because all that will live, he's going to raise somebody just like you. He says this to the young Timothy as he saw the zeal, the beauty, and the preciousness of his young brother. He says, I want you without fear. Command them. Don't fear their faces like Yah says to your child. Command them. You tell them that are rich in this world, that are rich with much more than most. That they should not be high-minded. Is not that the way people get? They make a woman that speaks volume of them. A man think because he got on alligator shoes, it speaks greatly of him. He got on a cheap $10 suit, that he's someone special. He said, teach them, he says that they should not be high-minded, nor trust in the fructose or the uncertainty of riches. You can't trust in your little monies and your little bank account. He said they don't trust in those things. He said, I comment that, but they trust in the living God, who gives us richly, listen, all things to enjoy. Those are the blessings of God. He gives us richly wisdom to enjoy it, to share it. He gives us richly the great love, to care. That's what he gives us. That's what we can enjoy each other. We can enjoy Yahshua, we can enjoy him. For we can enjoy, he said us richly, not some, again, all that word A-L-L, all things to shimchach, to rejoice and be glad, to enjoy the friendship of one another, to enjoy the daughterhood, the brotherhood, to enjoy the birth of a child, whether it's your child or whomever's. Enjoy that. And treat them like they're your own.
Hallelujah.
He says to Timothy, why? That they do time. Let us do time. And that they be rich in words, in counsel and wisdom, in teaching and care. That's what you need to be, rich in words. For what reason? Ready to distribute, willing to communicate. In essence, that all your wealth you're willing to share and to give and to help and to build the kingdom edifice. And then he says, when you do this, laying up in store for themselves, see, an excellent foundation against the time to come. We have to have the foundation that they may lay hold unto eternal life. That category 4, Micah the warrior, they came through Florida, the panhandle region of Florida, and moved houses on foundation. It swept at 144 miles an hour. It swept it all off. And there was no damn prayer from Pat Robertson, Jim Baker, and even the fat dog Jerry Falwell from his grave, and the faggot Eddie Long was going to stop that storm. And your little cheap nickel dime prayer is not stopping death. It's not stopping nothing. That's a fact. That you may be rich. I want to be rich in that work. See, my kindness and his kindness, I want that to bond with each other. We work together and that produces stuff. I want to be rich in that. That's our riches. Not a house on the hill, cold and lonely. And the only friends you got are those that can use you. And that's a fact. There must be a difference. I can teach this message all year, but I've got places to go and things to do and things to teach. May the riches of God rest upon us as a nation, YisraYah'ale, and we learn the great care for each other. There's nothing like caring and being concerned. I'm concerned for the whole house of YisraYah'ale. The few that we have here, I can go beyond this and show the same kind of care. And I will always bring gifts to those. That doesn't mean that we're going to bring gifts here. That's all right. I can appreciate that, but the letter this morning meant more than the gift that he sent. And as the old folks would say, quote, now they would say it like this, quote, Lord knows that we needed that, unquote. And God knew that it was necessary. I know not that, my friend, we are, but what you all have done for me. May he bless you all and enrich you all. Let us be strong. And we pray for his nation, even there in Michael, the great storm, that thing stretch over to Virginia. You know, come on. And you can't tell this. They don't realize what God says, I'm going to destroy them. had destroyed the earth. Something is wrong. Something where we ain't got things right. I mean, we should have more online than this on the Shabbat, all right? We got to do some things. Get it out or whatever. I don't care. But his blessings and the riches of Yah, they don't bring sorrow. They cause us to repent. And so don't tell me we're blessed of Yah. Just floating around in a delusion. And that's just a fact. May he strengthen your nation, may he cause your heart to be fat. Rejoice in the abundance of his riches. I know I am. I love life. I love life. I want to see better days. I want to refrain my... And I don't want to look out to be found. You're going to find that you fuss, so what? I mean, who in here has never fussed? Raise your hand if you've never fussed before. That was found in 1 Timothy chapter 6. We know chapter. Who in here has never fussed? See how even children fuss. I see him fussing with him. I see him fussing with him. I see she fussing with her and she fussing with her. So don't give me that bogus bull. Like you're pristine. You never fuss. You're a liar. Even she look out, she's fussing her me. We're such liars. We're flat out liars and we think high-minded of ourselves. Oh, Ray, I'm fussed like that, he said that. You know well what I said. And I don't take it back. All that Yah says, it doesn't change just one bit. We continue serenading, doing our own thing. And that's just a fact. And we got to get real with Yah. We must be real nation. We got to do it right. And we must be real. May he Baruch, YHWH's mighty name, may the blessings of the Chai of Yah rest upon you mightily and strongly. And may he keep you all and restore everything unto us that we need. We need strength, and above all, we need each other. I need you, right? I need friends. I don't want to be without friends. I mean, just a few, that's all right with me. And I'm not going to do anything to separate me from a friend. That's a fact. I'm not going to do that. But I know my enemies, and I know clowns and jackasses too. And I endure them. They can endure me. And I know those that are jealous. I don't own nothing. I don't even let people write me or call me, say, your land. Hold up, my friend. Stop. This is not my land. I don't let them say that to me. That's a fact. I've never allowed anyone to say that to me. Nothing. I own nothing. They want me off, they kick me off. That wouldn't be the best thing. I'm not going to touch your wives or your daughters or your sons. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to live in that shackle that SHALOM. I'm not going to do anything sneaky. I'm not going to be creeping around seeing who's one that can be that stupid. I'm not going to be watching no pornography, no bull. That's so stupid. Wasting y'all's time on stupid mess like that. I'm not guilty of any of it. I'm not guilty of any of it. If there's one thing I'm guilty of, it's my realness. That I'm guilty of.
Hallelujah.
My faith. Because if I was faking my home, she would be miserable as hell. If I was faking my home, she would be miserable as hell. If I'm getting up talking like this, she knows I'm a hypocrite. You think she wouldn't speak, her body language wouldn't speak? Your wives, I can tell, and your husbands too, I can tell what's happening in your house. I can look at you. I can tell. I can tell when I say something, what's going on. Not a fool. I don't care how you try to hide it. You can tell all you want to. And I'm not a pretender. I'm not fake. I'm not a liar. I don't practice lying. I don't practice lying as a lifestyle. And you lied, even your baby has lied.
True.
Mama, give me that. You get it, she doesn't want it. She does it to deceive you. She doesn't understand, or he doesn't understand the girls are lying. They cry. And then when they get it, they realize they don't want it. So let's get real. We must be real with each other. And if you're not real with Yah, you can't be real with each other. No, don't tell me you're real with Yah and not real with me. You're flat out lying. Unless you're real with him because you love him, that's the only way you're going to love me, be real with me. And the way I can be real with you is that I must be real with him. I don't hide nothing. I've never hid anything. I've never hid my sins. Never. And I'm not out here practicing no form of disregard to Yah and doing things that are evil that will bring a reproach against this little house here. I'd rather die. Kill me, Yah. And you know I'm not. Kill me, kill me, kill me. Kill me. I'm not afraid to say it. Because I'm not speaking cynical. Kill me, kill me, kill me. I'm not afraid. You may be, but I'm not. I'm not. I was talking to a man and I said, look, we were talking. One of the fellows up there in the store, look, I said, man, look, this is just me. I'd rather, if I die, just let me die, God. Just let me drop like that. But I don't want to sit around nobody having to wash my backside and all that. But I know they will wash my backside. I don't want to put that burden. My wife couldn't handle a big old fat thing like me. I don't want to put that on my wife. She's getting old just along with me. I don't want to put that on her. I don't want to put that on Zakin and Upshin, anybody. Just let me drop in the field like that. And let me be kind to my wife and nice and sweet to her. So if I dropped you, say he was a sweet man to me. That's right. So if I dropped you, say he was a sweet man. That's all she got to say. That's all. Your grandmother said that old woman was flat attack. I've never seen that old woman. I've never seen her grandmother not being fly. That old woman, you would think she was going to the country fair, because when you see her, she had on shoes and stockings. That's how that old woman dressed. She'd go out, she would have on a hat, that old woman, when she said to her, marry. He's a fine man, marry him. She took excellent advice. So I'd rather just drop in the field, I'd rather die. And you say, you sit, oh, you take a little bit of water. Okay, no, hold on. That's how it's going to happen. You can be a damn hypocrite all you want to. Keep playing. And keep pretending. That's everything serious. I'm sure that's the reality of everything in life. That's a fact. I'd rather go like that. Say, tell her I'm not. Tell her this. I don't want nobody, I don't want to sit down nobody after some stranger washing me. I'm not going to have that. Not me, you can. So we develop friendship among each other. So someone has to wash your ass. They're doing it. Yeah. That's what it is. It's a patas. It's the same thing. It means the same thing. Miss Papa, Mr. Papa. That's you all. We're going to enjoy the remainder of the week and the rest. And I've got a few guests coming. I've got what they call, you won't get any. I've got Tommy Hopkins. Is that why? That's why. Black Angus steak, coney chins with, I got a sauce I want to make. It's going to take your shoes. I love cooking, preparing things for YisraYah'ale. I can't do that well, but I do it with all my heart. And that's why I like doing things like that.
Hallelujah.
I love to cook. Where do you learn that from? She taught me. I wanted to learn how to cook, so like in those days she was working like me. That wasn't right for her to come home after cooking and run things. I took on the same responsibility she did. Clean the house. I get this one, I get all the bathroom because I clean them better than you. I was on the bathrooms. I didn't like them old brushes. I took mine. That's how I learned how to do it. I would clean the bathrooms. And we will meet in the center of the house and it will all be done. I will give her the stuff that it takes much. And almost every Sunday I cook for my son. I make up recipes in my mind, I go buy the stuff, and I go prepare it. And we didn't go out to dinner. So she was working, so I wasn't going to put that heavy weight on her. You understand? I didn't do that to her. We did it together. We watched laundry. When we'd have no drying all that, I would hang the clothes out. I would hang them out right along with her. I would hang the clothes out with her. I did everything with her. Everything with her. I shared in every responsibility. So I wanted to cook something. And the first thing she taught me how to cook was fried chicken. Not chicken wings, chicken wings. Fried chicken wings. You remember? I can tell you. Broccoli. Chili sauce on that. It's rice. You can't beat rice, I don't care what you got. So she taught me how to cook. And I enjoyed that. So I used to bake things like I could make the best egg custard. I would do all of that. I would learn and teach myself from that. She taught me one thing about preparing food. Take your time. But tomorrow I'm cooking for other guests, and so some of those tell me how they look like a hot. She says to me, "What in the world?" Because I've never cooked one. And I want you all to eat it. Fat condition with the garlic sauce. It's going to be very, very nice. You all will be down the road. Right? So they encourage me. You send a gift to help us here. We got to. What's wrong with this? What's wrong with this system? Is it the cameras?
No, sir. It was just the
Sorry?
computer just needed an update. It's fine.
Okay. That's you all. We do what I do. But I do have a great haba for YisraYah'ale. And they keep asking me, Papa, how much? She'll ask me, how much am I going to get? I said, if you get 5. She'll tell me, just give me 5. Are you sure? She said, okay, well, what about 25? I said, that's all you want? Oh, okay, 50. And then she want to ask, what are you going to get in? She always, what is she going to get in? She asked me what she's going to get. Good secret. More than you can give, all right? Take care of our babies. Fine. I don't want to act like no boy. I don't want to school teaching how to be a boy. I want her to learn how to be a beautiful daughter of Zion. I don't just have a beautiful husband. I don't want to wait till she's 25 to about a husband. I want her to understand the beauty. I want her to see that with my wife. I want her to see that. You teach them now. No, I want to see her kiss I want to see her you kissing Imran thing. They don't go, oh. I want to see that. I want her to see that. I want to see them embrace. I'm not being stupid. I'm not going to do anything that's, come on, nation. But I want her to see that. I want her to see how we play together. And sometimes they'll come over, man, especially when they're on the couch, we all just like silly. I tell them it's time for them to go home by. That's one extra thing I can put them out. If he lived next door, he'd do the same thing. I can put them all out. Go home. Go home. You know, Mama said, don't beg over there. Well, then don't have to beg me. Poppy, what is that? You know what that is. And that one there, can I taste that? What are you going to do with that? You going to eat that? Can I eat? Can I have some coffee? You got to get one for me. Hadat said, can we have cream? Huh? We must inspire them. Lord, is our blessing we slave our will. There's something sad that we don't want to do that. We must inspire them. I want them to be beautiful. I've talked to her about that. I want her to be a beautiful daughter. I talked to them about that. I'm not going to wait till they're 25. That's stupid. Talk to them about keeping themselves clean and pure.
Hallelujah.
Mothers, you're going to pay a price in hell for what you haven't done. Let us stand to our prayer.
Yahweh.
Turn toward YHWHSHUA. In all things we give up our above. For your great excellence and your truth in all things. Bless your nation. Bless your people. Give us all rest this day. And bless the nations scattered abroad in Africa and Korea and in Hong Kong, in Japan, throughout the nations of the world, in Britain, in Spain, in Portugal, and all those places. So many of those that were slaves went to Portugal, and all of those places, down in Argentina, down in Brazil. Bless the nation, your people, all over the world. In every place is my prayer. In Yahshua's name, bless those that are down in the great destruction. Look upon them all. Give them water and bread. These are my desires and my prayer in Yahshua's name. Hallelujah. 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 Hallelujah.